I start with implementing SAFe, just a brief note on the implementing SAFe course. The implementing SAFe course starts with the first 2 days being the leading SAFe class. The difference, though, is that in the implementing SAFe class, we are teaching, if you like, is train the trainers. So it's all about how do you get the message across in the leading SAFe class in order for the executives and change agents to understand what's the problem we're trying to solve and how to go about solving it. So that's the key difference. So the focus is different, and it may take more than 2 days, 2.5 days to do that in an implementing SAFe class. Now go back to the leading SAFe class. Now the leading SAFe class is a 2-day class, and it's the best introduction to scaled agile framework class that we have. What that allows the attendees to do is understand what is the problem we are trying to solve. Why do we need to change? And we go through the fact that every organization is a software-enabled organization. Regardless of the line of business that you're in, the differentiators that you have is your ability to develop and deliver software that meets your customer needs, and keep learning and improving the delivery of those solutions. So we say, okay, what is the problem? Now then, we know that organizations understand what the problem is. So they know that they have a problem. Successful organizations, they've been running for a while, they now know we have a successful business, but we need to get more responsive. We need to gain more market share. And the challenge is, how do we go about that? And again, the leading SAFe class and the scaled agile framework provides the how. To say, how do we go from having stable business to also creating structures that allow us to be responsive to the customer needs without throwing everything out. So it's not about, okay, you've done everything wrong, let's start from a clean sheet of paper. No, it's about how do we provide or build structures alongside or in parallel with the stability that we have within the organization. And that's the network structure that we build. So that's about, if you like, why do we need to change and how we organize ourselves differently in order to meet the challenges and be responsive to the customer need and demands. So that's, if you like, that's one part of the problem. So having teams of agile teams that are organized and coordinated by and aligned with the customer purpose. The other element is, how do we align against strategy of the organization? And that's the other part that we cover, to say, okay, we got our organization strategy. How do we make sure that what we're working on is aligned with that strategy? And when we're working with all of those, the alignment is both with the customer needs and the organization strategy, and with the solutions that we're building, we need to make sure that they are viable, they're feasible, and that means that we have a sustainable business and we're meeting the customer need and they're desirable by the customer. So that's what we do on that. Now, all of the change that we go through and all this system of work, scaled agile framework, the foundation of it is leadership, because it is the leaders who design the system of work and manage it the way they're doing it currently. And the results we are achieving is a function of how that system is designed and managed. When we want to change, we want better results, we need to change the way we are designing and managing that system. So part of the design of that would be the teams of agile teams in a network structure to meet the customer needs better and faster, with higher quality. And then is, okay, so we've got that structure going, then is, in order to lead by example, as leaders, we also need to gain knowledge. We don't know this way of working, so we need to gain knowledge. We need to also be able to ensure that our behaviors and words are aligned. So words are easy to say, but if the behaviors are not aligned with the words, then we know people will sense that, will see that very, very quickly. Now we can test ourselves to say whether we are doing that. Is when things are going wrong, that's when we know whether our behaviors and words are aligned. Because when things go wrong, do we revert back to what we know, or do we say, no, hang on, let me just work in a new way that I now learned and do it? Typically, we know this through whether you go for, when something goes wrong, you go to who, instead of to what. When you go to who is about, the old way of working, to say, okay, who did whatever it is wrong, whereas what went wrong, what is wrong with the system of work that ultimately I am responsible for, and how we designed and managing that is causing these problems to surface, and what I can do or what I can enable the teams to do to change that system of work.